Before we begin this week's video, I have a lot of Coffee members to thank. Thank you so much to Blue, Soren Sky, Lagovert, Nox, Riff, Agdaki, Coffee supporter, this one didn't come up for whatever reason, FST, Ty the Saber, and Carnelian Fox for the one-time donations. And thank you so much to Seth Martin and Arcadia for the tennis ball tier, and Sugar Beam Pop for the doggy treat tier. I put out a community post and a tweet saying that I wasn't doing great financially, and the fact that this many people were able to help in any way they could just means the world to me. Thank you so much, guys. Hey everyone, Misha B. Barkin here. Sorry for disappearing for another week. I have had zero motivation to make videos, but here I am. Also sorry if I sound kind of stuffy. I am very sick. That's a little concerning during a pandemic, but I'm sure it's nothing. I can't believe we're at this point. 8,000 subs? Let me play a clip from the beginning of this year really quick. How was 2020 for the channel? 2020 for the channel was excellent. Everything else, I gained over 300 subscribers and I'm almost to 400 subs. I think last I checked I'm up to 379. It's still just mind-boggling to me. So needless to say, we far exceeded that. I still just... Bro, what? That's a lot of people who watch my videos. Thank you so much, guys. For this milestone, I decided to do another Q&A since there's more people to ask questions this time around. I did one back in February of this year when I hit 500 subs, so be sure to check that one out as well. I made sure to mention that repeat questions wouldn't be answered, so think of this as sort of a part 2, you know? Anyways, without further ado, let's just go ahead and dive right in. Javanox asks, what is the process of making a video and do you have any tips on keeping a decent schedule? Well, usually I'll take a day or two on the script, then the next day record the audio and begin editing it, and finish it on a third day and post it. Sometimes if I'm in a time crunch, I'll script and record the same day, then power edit for a full day, but man, as someone with issues focusing for a long time, this sucks to do. In terms of keeping a schedule, figure out what works for you. Some people work better scheduling their days down to the minute, while others have a bullet point of tasks to get done whenever during the day. Either of these are valid ways to organize and work if you're willing to put in the effort. Nienvit asks, have you ever tried or considered doing art as a hobby? What hobbies are you into besides content creation? I've mentioned a few times about using Flipnote Hatena, an animating app on the Nintendo DSi, and used to draw and animate for that all the time, but I never really got better at art, and at some point realized I wasn't really willing to put in the effort to get better at it, so I slowly stopped doing it. As for other hobbies, the big one's music. I'm learning drums, and I write music occasionally, as well as play woodwinds. Other than that, I really like playing Clone Hero or Guitar Hero for the PC, and I'm also very big into Pokemon. Cactus That's Sentient asks, what do you think of people who do things considered cringe, like making really edgy characters or using ooh-woo a lot unironically? I mean, there's definitely things I look at and go, alright, that's kinda weird. But as long as you're not hurting anyone, you do you, you know? Props to those people for being themselves in a world that tries to prioritize fitting in. Cowbean asks, do you ever plan on trying to stream on YouTube or even Twitch? If so, what do you think you'd end up doing? I've definitely considered the streaming gig, but I don't really think it's for me personally. Live streaming is a whole different ballgame and requires a different skill set to video making, and I just genuinely don't think I'd be that entertaining live. Also, considering I tend to stutter or have trouble getting thoughts out sometimes, I don't know if people would want to sit through me trying to stitch together a coherent sentence for hours on end. I have shown up in others' live streams and would love to collab with some streaming friends, but I don't think I'll do it myself on the norm. I do, however, have plans to do a charity stream for a trans-focused charity or LGBT rights in general, so stay tuned for that. Feline For You asks, is your name inspired by the main character of All Dogs Go to Heaven, Charlie B. Barkin? That's a weird question I get asked a lot because yes, but also no. Splatter and I came up with the B. Barkin portion after Misha was already created, and I was under the impression that it was from a children's book or something. I knew I'd heard it before, but had no idea where. Turns out it was from the Big Mouse himself. Also a little nugget of wisdom, the B actually stands for something. The B is Benjamin, and that's because it's one of my favorite guy names. Ben and Max are two names that are just so adorable to me. So yeah, Misha Benjamin Barkin. Bell Hill Mayer asks, ever played Animal Crossing before? And Carol the Arctic Fox asks, ever played Star Fox? So don't get mad, but no to both of these. I never owned a Nintendo 64 or a GameCube, and Animal Crossing has just never really caught my eye, to be honest. Riff Music Pony asks, also I know you're into music, so I gotta ask, were there any bands or musicians who inspired you to want to do the same? Definitely. I've been listening to a lot of Adam Neely as of late and his band Threshold, as well as Corey Wong for a general fusion vibe. A staple in my music rep is the band Ripe though. Definitely recommend them. They're a music hub for a bunch of smaller furry musicians musicians to post their music on major streaming platforms and have it reach a wider audience. Check them out. Assumed Riolu asks, do you have any furry streamers that you enjoy to see, whether they're well known or not? And if possible, do you have any tips on streaming in general? To be honest, I don't really watch many live streams. I'll occasionally watch my friend WikiWolf, but other than that, not really. I know that Prototoby and Oh Snapdragons live stream sometimes, so definitely check them out. In terms of tips for streaming, again, I got nothing, sorry. That's a whole different ballgame I'm unfamiliar with. Kane the Sergol asks, if you could give future furry content creators advice, what would it be? You from when you first started in the fandom that is in front of you, what do you tell them? And any hard pills the fandom needs to swallow? Honestly, my biggest advice is to just do it. Throw yourself out there, see what sticks. Some videos are gonna do good, some aren't, and learn from that going forward. Always do what you want first and foremost, but recognize things that work and mold your craft to reflect that if you're hoping to grow. Also, please don't compare yourself too hard to other creators, especially bigger ones. That's an easy gateway to getting discouraged. Using other creators as a learning tool, however, is really good. Use others' ideas and methods in your videos. Just be sure to mold it to be your own. Don't steal. Now, what would I tell myself when I first joined? That's a tough one. I guess just first and foremost, be unapologetically you. Stop being scared of judgment, as no matter what or who you are, someone out there will judge you for it. But if you stop hiding and be your true self, that's when you'll find your true friends. Hard pills for the community? There's gonna be bad people in this community. There's bad people everywhere. Try your best to surround yourself with positive people, and recognize that the negative people in this community are a minority, and the majority of this community is a positive thing. That being said, don't ignore the negativity entirely. Being ooh-woo positive all the time is arguably just as bad, you know? Just don't let it bring you down, and try to remember the good things about this community. Arcadia asks, if you could commission any suit maker, regardless of budget or wait time, who would it be? This was also asked by Neon Bat on YouTube. Honestly, I'm not sure. I know PN Works does amazing suits, and Atlas Inu turned out super adorable. Mischief Makers is another great one. Ravala Wolf's suit has always been a favorite of mine. I guess at the end of the day, I don't really have a dream maker in all honesty. Hexflame asks, what is the biggest or most unexpected challenge you've come across as a content creator? Interestingly enough, it's been mostly smooth sailing, but I got two things that big suck in content creation. One, when a video performs poorly. It's easier said than done just to be like, oh, just keep your head up, learn for the next time. Because yes, that is what you should do, but that doesn't mean it hurts any less when you pour your time into something and it just flops hard. Secondly, man, there's a lot of interaction with people, and as a pretty shy, introverted person, that can get really tiring fast. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate you all being here. I just went from having only really my friends watching to having thousands of pairs of eyes on me in the span of under a year, and I don't feel like I had adequate time to prepare for that. So long story short, odds are your DMs will go unanswered, and I'm sorry, it's nothing personal. I just get a lot of them, and I don't really have the energy to respond to everybody and follow up with people I don't know constantly. Rebecca K. Lunetta asks, have you ever made plans to make discussion videos about your opinions on other fandoms and communities, like the Brony community or the Object Show community, for instance? I know that it would sound too cliche and lame, but I want to know. And do you think your video about blocking on Twitter too much should apply to most fandoms and communities, or just the furry fandom? So I actually had plans to make a video about the Brony fandom having ties to the furry community this month, but due to burnout, I switched back to one vid a week, so that got moved to January. In terms of just doing non-furry topics in general, it's not super likely as of now. Non-furry videos don't really do well, as I'm known for being a furry channel, you know? And that's okay. Maybe sometime I'll step out of the furry box and try it out, but as of now, I don't have any plans for it, really. And on your second point, my opinion on that video's changed as a whole. Block whoever you want, who cares, it's your page. You don't owe anyone anything or any sort of response or reasoning. So, no, that video doesn't apply to any other community, because I don't even feel it applies to this one anymore. Hey, Misha and A Beleza. I have pissed off a lot of Brazilians from Brazil. How does it feel to be known worldwide, technically speaking? I'm gonna be honest, knowing people watch my videos around the world is kind of terrifying in a way. Like I mentioned before, I'm pretty introverted, so having that many eyes on me and becoming aware that it's all around the world is pretty intimidating. But it's also really awesome to think about. That many people with that many stories from that many places like what I do and tune in to watch when I post? That's so cool. AB the Dragon asks, how much Furriar have you commissioned? Admittedly, not much. I think I can list it all here. There was a flute vaporwave commission from Dizzy, a gay screensaver from Planet VCR, Misha and Nick Wild's clothes from Misha's ref sheet from Dizzy again, a Christmas icon from Archie, and I have 2 commissions in the work right now. One of them actually got finished. Here it is on screen. It was done by my friend Miles the Opossum, and I can't thank him enough for doing such an important piece for me. Most of my art of Misha has been admittedly gift art recently, which is just unreal to think about. People want to draw Misha? For fun? Creature asks, how do you like your burgers? Lettuce, tomato? What doneness of the meat? Do you like anything fancy on your burger? The perfect burger. Medium rare patty, 2 slices of cheese, light lettuce, grilled onions, some bacon jam if I'm feeling extra bougie, and mayo all on a lightly toasted potato roll, served with some steak fries and a slightly tangy fry sauce. Boom. Spiral the Phantom asks, have you ever been not proud of one of your creations before? On anything I've published recently, no. I usually filter out the videos that I feel aren't up to standard out before they even see the light of day. The closest I got was on a recent video where I wrote the script, recorded the audio, and got halfway through editing it before I realized this sucks and scrapped the whole thing. Now, obviously looking back at my old videos, they're kind of rough around the edges and some haven't aged great, but I was super proud when I released them, and looking back at my improvement makes me super proud now. Jinx the Jinx asks, favorite animal? I really like foxes and dogs, as boring of an answer as that may be. My favorite breeds are the typical ones, husky, sheep, corgi, you know. Chimera the Furry asks, do you prefer Pepsi or Coke? Well, considering my favorite drink is a rum and Coke, Daydreamy Z asks, if you could create one piece of furry media to go worldwide viral, what would it be? Definitely either a video or a song. The carpet sample video low-key popped off, but I feel like it might have been towards more of a haha look at those weird furries crowd. If another video gets a lot of views, I'd like it to be more of a furry thing, or more of a positive aspect on the community. FuzzyX53 asks, number 1, what is your plan with the channel going further and into the future? And what is your favorite video game? For the first question, I don't know. I've just kind of been taking it week by week for the channel, learning and growing and meeting new people as I go, and I hope I can keep doing that for a long while. I know for a fact though that I want this channel to be a place where people can go and laugh, smile, and have their day be brightened a little bit, you know? Yeah, sometimes I cover more serious topics as those need to be talked about, but for the most part I just want to make people smile. I've been there, where watching YouTube is an escape from the real world, where you just want to and need to tune out life for whatever the reason may be, and the fact that I can provide that for other people, that just makes me super happy. So long story short, I'll keep doing what I do and hopefully I can do that for a very long time. As for my favorite video games, a lot of the Pokemon games fit this category. I also really like Dust and Elysian Tail, Clone Hero, Super Smash Bros, and Sea of Thieves. Yeeted Llama asks, favorite Pokemon? Leafeon. Fun fact, Misha actually started out as a Leafeon. He was a Pokesona I made when I was like 12, and the name has always stuck with me over time. So yeah, that's the end of the Q&A. Once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. You guys have genuinely changed my life for the better, and I can't believe where I am as both a channel and as a person today. I've learned so much, met so many cool new people, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go take some NyQuil and go to bed. I am very sick. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!